I love it.
To us famous personalities here.
I love it. But this woman's business, she is a productivity coach, right, in our office. Her business has got 37% in what they say a struggling market. What? How are you doing that, my friend? What is the fairy dust?
There's no secrets.
Come on, fairy dust. Everyone's like, what's the magic? You know, tell us.
They're magic.
Show up, right? Show up. Be the best version of yourself, right? So tell me, I'm gonna start with you since you're right here on my right here. So tell me, what are you doing differently this year that you weren't doing last year?
More work,
What does that look like?
being more consistent. So I don't know if many people know, but 3 years ago, I was ready to quit.
Yes, she was. I remember that phone call.
2021, I was ready to hang up. I literally had my yellow highlighter ready to go to Walmart and do the little receipt.
Seriously,
Where was my good story?
conversation with the
Not
not.
Costco, that was my better one because it's a half block from my house. And they have better benefits. Yeah, they have better benefits, by the way, and they pay better. Yeah, I really was. And I made
glad you did it.
Thank you. I made a conscious decision to re-engage. And honestly, it is this office and people that I surround myself with. That is my secret sauce. Yeah, there's my work husband right there.
You almost forgot his luggage and awesome.
Yeah. But no, really it is, it's the people you surround yourself with, because the new agents I coach give me energy and, you know, get me excited again. And then knocking this woman down on number one, that was my goal when I started here.
Wow. My husband's referring to the paranormal real estate team, not team five at the moment.
So that was my goal, is to be like Parm, really, when I got here. She has amazing, ethics and structure in her business.
Yes.
And I looked at her and went, that's how you do it the right way.
Right.
So, yeah.
What changes have you made in lead generating this year with your team?
The biggest one that we're probably in the middle of right now, as well as going into like quarter four, is just intentionally focusing on the database. When a lot is changing, the database is probably the number one thing that you want to go back.
Did you guys remember the first question that we had?
Yeah, so intentionally focusing on the database. And that's why when we're saying, so there's two things, you need to build your database. So if you're a newer agent, work on building it. That's where we're doing.
You mean open houses?
Open houses, thank
Yes.
you. Putting it all together. Open houses, your sphere, talking to people and whatnot, airdropping, calling random people, talking to people in the grocery store. And then when you've been in the business and you have a database, then it's really about connecting with them. Right?
Lots of
So
loving.
our team is fortunate enough that we have a database. Now we just are intentionally working on connecting with it on a regular basis.
And I would echo that, and then also say, if you are newer, it is the follow-up. That is where the fortune is. And that's where I fell off and re-engaged with my open houses. I built my business on open houses and geographical farming. I didn't know a soul when I came to Sacramento. So I had to really kind of start where a brand new agent did. And it is the follow-up. And I think that's what I've done really differently this year, is re-engage people that put a pause on it like 8 months ago, and then providing education for them.
When you say follow up, is it just phone calls or what are you doing?
Follow up, email, text, phone, whatever avenue I have to connect with them, because they don't always give you everything when you meet them. And I dived into video a lot.
I've seen that. That looks good. That looks good. Social media, right?
Social media,
Yeah.
and I never watch any of my videos. Ever. I won't post it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're also doing events,
Right.
So talk about that. How many events do you do a year?
This year I haven't done as many as I should.
Okay, how about this last 24 months?
Last 24 months, I've done 4, and I
Okay.
try to do 3 to 4 regularly.
Mhm.
I miss my Kona ice truck that I do every year. And actually I have people coming up to me and saying, you didn't do it. Ooh, they did notice. So engaging that way more in the next 12 months than I have been. And again, following up with those people that I met through those.
Got it, got it.
Quick
Parm,
question
what
on- Can I ask?
Yes, please.
On your events, when you pull a truck into a neighborhood and give it out, do people have to like give you information to get the ice
Absolutely.
So how do you do that? Do you have like a sign up and you tickets out, or what do you do?
So when I do like my Kona Ice event, I literally have like my table before the truck, so they get to me before they get the shaved ice. And then I usually have like my lender or some of my vendors donate, like we did a $500 Costco gift card, because who doesn't want that?
Right.
And then they sign up, and then there's information on my little sign-in sheet too, like, are you thinking about buying or selling? Do you own or rent? So I can get other information when I follow up and have an intelligent conversation with them.
Got it.
And then I don't do the raffle there, and I do it afterwards, so I have a reason to re-engage them.
But if they don't want to give you info, they can still get the,
Yeah, because they're my neighbors.
okay,
Awesome.
thank you.
Parm, how do you motivate your team in this crazy market? How do you motivate your team?
I'm just a little scared.
So I bring them up here. I mean, come on, they love you. Look at, yes, they do. Look at the conference room right now.
The real, yeah,
That is
they do love
beautiful.
me, I mean, and I love them, because we're family. But with any family, guess what, we work hard to keep that relationship going. I'll say this, I think I learned a while back, a long time ago. You can't really motivate someone as a teammate, and as, if you wanna use a team leader of, our team. My job is to encourage and to hold them accountable and myself accountable, and for them to do the same to me. But I can't make them get up out of bed and show up and do what they wanna do. So it's more about connecting with, hey, what are your goals and how can I support you in those goals? So we set that at the end of the year for the following year. I make sure that anyone that's on the team wants to be on the team, because we spend a lot of time together with each other, and so we should have at least some fun. And there's rough days and there's easy days, but it's not really about me motivating them, it's me just being on the same page with them and knowing whatever I'm doing, whether I'm saying something good, bad, or indifferent, is it helping them reach whatever goal they have?
Got it. Thank you so much for sharing. How do you motivate yourself? What's going on in your world, right? And you have to change it. You have to pivot yourself sometimes, because it could be a little tough coaching sometimes, and all of a sudden you got to pivot and be out there and shine. What do? Do you, look at a big why? What is it?
I think why has changed over the years, because, I had a kid, then we want to get him out of college, and we want to buy a car, now we want to buy a house. So my why has changed, but I really dig deep for my family. That's my connection, is I get up every day for them. And then my family here, my agents that I coach, and I lead by example. I can't expect them to, want to have a great business and get up every morning if I don't. And so that weighs heavy on me when I get up every day.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. What technology or tools are you using to give yourself the competitive edge?
Oh, you better answer this one. I'm a techie person.
What are you using as a CRM?
Command.
You're using Command?
Use Command, use
Yeah.
what's given to you that is maybe at no cost. We use Command, I mean, we obviously have other CRMs, et cetera, that we pay for, in different levels, but Command is phenomenal. You just gotta make sure you use you could literally build a business based on Post-it notes. That could be your
We don't
CRM.
recommend
Or the yellow tablets, right? I know the coach is on yellow tablets.
Or it could be an Excel, Google sheet, it could be anything. But just whatever CRM you use, anything that you house your database, use it. It could be like a Rolodex. And yes, there are people here that probably don't know what that is, so I have to eat myself. But, there you go. So, and use anything, just anything you use or have, use it. So we use Command on our team right now at the agent level. Outside of that, other technology, I mean,
Because, Command's changing so much, right? And so we have all these classes. So I encourage you, if you have a VA or an assistant, go ahead and send them to the classes. I think it's every Tuesday, Thursday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday and Thursday, and then every other Wednesday.
Oh, there you go. Well, how about this? It's on Circle and it's on your calendar if you speak it all up. Awesome.
And I would say, let your database do the heavy lifting for you. Whatever CRM you do use it to the extent that it's gonna help you grow your business. There's a lot of stuff it can do, even if you're just doing the basic smart plan where it's emailing and texting them. That's time that you spend with your clients and really connecting with them on a personal level. So whatever one you have is the best one to use.
Got it. Thank you so much. Okay, social media. You both use it? You use it more? Well, your assistant uses it? Okay, yeah.
We need to get better at it. I mean, we're posting, we want to get more engaged realistically, videos, if you're not doing them, do them. You've already got the head start. That's my biggest thing with videos. I'm like, you know, like today, like, I mean, I usually roll up in like jeans and like flip flops realistically, right? So I don't think people want to see that on video, but.
they do, 'cause it's the authentic.
Authentic you.
Exactly,
I get more
right?
hits when I'm leaving the
So
gym.
I think that's the rule of thumb, is create a video, post it, and don't watch it yourself, but just post. It's more engaging than kind of just stagnant posts or non-interactive posts. But remember also social media, one thing I do wanna say is like, don't fall in the rabbit hole of like just being on social media for the sake of being on social media, because that's a lot of time and energy wasted.
Always
Post
have a
with
call to
intention
action.
and have like a time frame as to how long you're gonna be on social media and for what purpose, and know what you're there to do. So if it's to promote something, talk about something, engage with your database, engage with your sphere, just know what your intention is behind it. Otherwise, you'll end up getting lost in the scroll,
Yeah.
which isn't good for your business.
And then I will say that people do that, if you meet people at open houses or somebody gets referred to you, we do this with other products, right? We go looking and searching. They're doing that for you guys as well. So if you're not out there, they're gonna really have a filter, have you sold anything? Not that you, they don't honestly care if we sold 50 houses this year. They really want to know who you are as a person. I've been hired because I had a yellow lab and I was a soccer mom. I literally had somebody say that to me. They didn't know how many homes I sold that year. They connect with me on a personal level. That's what they're looking for out there.
Authentic.
Mhm.
Okay, what besides NAR, what is the biggest challenges you faced this year? That you have faced? If you want to say NAR and you want to get a little bit deeper with that, we can. Biggest challenge,
Biggest challenge.
and how did you overcome it?
I think NAR takes the cake this year, to be honest. But outside of that, it's just, I think it's pivoting on conversations realistically, you know, just being in the right frame, as far as conversations with clients.
Okay, so
because
I'm a
of the
buyer.
Environment with rates, NAR, so much going on.
Pricing.
Right, so I'd say besides NAR, the biggest challenge I think is, as always, and it's not like this is the first year it's happened, we've had it consistently, is just pivoting on the conversation around what you're accustomed to doing, right? So if you built a business on something and now something happens, I usually find the biggest challenge is just pivoting on how your chats are gonna be, or how your marketing is going to be, or who you're trying to influence.
Got it, got it. Do you want to add anything to that?
I would say the biggest challenge I've seen with the NAR is the media, right? Is like getting everybody set straight on really what's going on. I have heard tons of things at open houses when I get questions about what they think it is. Oh, no, I mean, there's so many people walking in saying they have to pay for our commission. That is a possibility. There's also two other possibilities of how to handle it. So it's educating them, right?
What are the other two so people can hear?
Having the seller come up like normal, like they had been. I know broker Bruce is like staring me down, make sure you say this right, Leslie. And then also having the, you know, asking for a credit, right? Like maybe increasing the price a little bit and having them credit so the buyer can pay their agent. So there's options, which is what my conversation is. There's options. You're not stuck, you're not locked in. It is a possibility with the BRBC that you have to pay me. But if I can't negotiate my own compensation, you should not be there. That's my talk track.
Yeah.
That is, I think, the topic. And then also sellers, you know, getting them real about buyers don't have another $20,000 in their pocket, right? So let's be realistic. You want to sell your house. Pricing and commission, is that what you're hearing?
Definitely conversations around pricing, and that goes both seller and buyer. And just, everything from like conversations at open houses too. So I think that's the biggest challenge is, you know, your conversations at open houses are changing, your conversations, when a random client calls and says, I wanna see this property, is changing, right? So it's just about pivoting on that and making sure that you're doing everything correctly.
Tell me or tell us, what are your, biggest pillars for lead generation?
Mine are open houses, geographic farming and referral base, which I love. I still have to go find new business, don't get me wrong. I meet strangers at open houses and they become clients, but diving into that referral business is like my base salary every year.
As with the online lead generation, database, meaning like either past clients or referrals from past clients. And then marketing that we're doing, whether it's like mailers or agent marketing, something to that effect.
Do you guys circle prospect every listing?
We do. We circle prospect around our just listed, around our closed, around our in contracts, around our open houses.
How many people, and I think this is a question everybody can learn about, how many, when you go to Circle Prospect, right, you have a listing on the list, how many people are you pulling data from in that vicinity to Circle Prospect?
We pull data for 1,000 numbers. So we pull data for 1,000 numbers, and then that is called, depending upon what we're circle prospecting. So Mondays is closed clients, Tuesdays is in contract, Wednesdays is just listed or price reductions, and Thursdays and Fridays is open house.
Some of that sounds like you got a plan. Leslie does too.
I love it. So tell me,
I don't do 1,000, but I do 500.
Right.
do you
As
do,
long as it's more than one.
It's 700.
how many, when you do hold an open house, do you invite everybody in the area to go to your open house?
I'm a bad one to ask. I am not a door knocker.
Okay, Okay.
Daggers in my eyes.
no, that's okay.
But I found something that I like to do, which is circle prospecting,
Huh?
because then I can talk to them, also leave a message. I door drop.
Door drop, okay.
So I
Yeah.
do get that out there in the invite now. If I do a neighborhood only, that I do door knock, because I do want them to come in, and usually it's like 20 around them. But I'm a bad,
Yeah, and I love the honesty, right? Yeah, it's really,
it's
really
not my
good.
gig.
Not your gig, not your gig.
Our team has a combination of flyer dropping as well as door knocking. So it depends on who they're trying to get to and how much time they realistically have. We try to drop 100 flyers, doesn't mean we're door knocking 100 clients, but if you want real conversations and more like of a captive audience, the door knocking and the flyer dropping is really the way to go. Right? Because you engage with a client, it's kind of like circle prospecting versus someone coming to your open house. Circle prospecting, you're reaching out to someone that's not even thought about selling, not even thought about buying. You might be like at level 1 of capturing them at the interest level, so you can create that relationship with them. At the open house, they might already have an agent, they might already be talking to someone, they might just be having a second look or whatnot, right? So the door knocking and the flyer dropping, I find for our team is where we have more engaging conversations with actual potential sellers versus at the open house.
And I would agree, because I did an open house for you once, and they brought, I think it was Kevin's flyer into my open house. So it works. I should do it more.
We're seeing that, I mean, right now, our teammate Socorro has a listing that we picked up for a flyer she door knocked and dropped off. In
So she
April.
she just dropped it
Yeah,
off,
just dropped
put
it off.
it in a little handle and walked away. If you got a listing. What did that flyer say?
We were marketing around an open house that her and a teammate were doing for another listing of ours.
So it was really simple. Sounds like. We just gotta do it.
You just gotta pick what you wanna do. You don't have to do
Yeah.
everything. Pick what you wanna do that you like doing and just do it. Really.
So we always talk about mindset, right? So what mindset shifts has helped you stay resilient? Actually successful in this crazy market? Because every single day, right, we have a choice when we wake up. And what are you saying to yourself? What are you reading? What are you listening to get your mind in the right frame?
This too shall pass.
Okay,
In the NAR thing, our brokerage did so much education,
Yeah.
you guys, like, it was pounded on us for 7 months straight. There's agents that I've talked to that have written on my listings, I'm like, did you even know there was a change?
yeah,
They forgot to mark box G3.
yeah.
You know what they say today, G3, mark that box.
Yeah.
Or you're not getting paid. And so it was just kind of pounded into us, and I'm like, this too shall pass. It's just, we're moving through a market, and there's always a market, it's just, what is it and how to prepare it?
But, are you guys listening to any podcasts or what are you reading these days? Don't say Daniel Still. No, just-
My children's homework. I could do better at podcasts and, books, quite honestly, so.
But something's going
I have
on,
a
right? I
sample
mean,
book.
there's times when you probably think, oh my gosh.
It's going back to your big why, and it could be big or it could be little. Mine is just showing up for my kids and my teammates.
Yeah.
Realistically, that's it. Right? Like I lead by example. That's the life I lived. I saw my parents get up every day and go to work, whether they were feeling well or not. And because of that, I'm grateful for the life that they provided me. And I choose to do that for my kids, and I have the ability to choose to do that for my teammates. And so that motivates me enough to get up and show up. Otherwise, what else would I be doing? Watching Ricky Lake on TV?
Yeah.
Again, dating me?
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not. Bring her, but. Right, so my point being is, like, I was thinking about this, because I know I didn't have time to review the questions. I didn't have time to review the questions, but I know it said something like what motivates you and motivates them. I was like, if I was working for the state or Caltrans or Costco, someone's gonna be calling me every day and saying, hey, are you showing up to work or
Right,
whatnot?
yeah, you gotta treat it like a job.
Right, so
Yeah.
I treat it like a job.
You're the CEO of your own company, right? So tomorrow morning, you're gonna ask yourself, would I rehire you?
Yeah.
Right? Did I do the activities yesterday to make me rehireable today?
And if you
Right.
didn't, what can I do better
Yeah.
or different today to have a better day than I did? yesterday?
Yeah.
Because we don't get up every day and have great days, you guys.
No.
Like, every day, just because we're quote top agents.
We put on our face.
Yeah.
You have to though.
We do.
You have to, because this is what we do every single day.
Because our clients count on us.
Yes, and your future clients count on you. Okay, so tell us about a time when a deal fell out. How did you save it? Or did you save it? You know, because obviously it's ups and downs, right? We've got to learn how to ride the wave. So tell us about a time. Because there's some new agents here, there's some veterans here. And sometimes it doesn't sit well, but you got over it.
I just had one yesterday. It didn't fall out, but I thought it was going in, right?
Uh-huh.
Never count your chickens, whether chicken is the same. And there's another listing agent I worked with before. We could not put this deal together. We were $10,000 apart. Neither side would budge. And I was like, we're so close. 2 counter offers. We just couldn't make it work. I'm like, okay, it wasn't meant to be. And then that's why you have a pipeline. So you have 2 more that you can focus on because they don't all work.
Right.
Right? You're gonna have natural fallout, and it's not taking it personally. It wasn't me, it wasn't her, it was actually those 2. And now those 2 have to figure out what they're gonna do. Maybe we'll put it together in a week, I don't know, but I know I have 3 other clients I work with. So that one didn't hurt us that. Don't get me wrong, it hurts. That was a $13,000 potential check, but that's what you do to your pipeline. Keep it full.
Keep your pipeline full, okay? Farm.
There's always business that's gonna fall out. It's the nature of the beast, right?
Yeah.
That's why quantity is important, just like quality. Most recent one, like, I mean, I just had a price reduction conversation this morning. I have like 3 of them slated, for today.
They're so fun, aren't they?
Right, which, I mean, it is actually, because it depends on how you're having the conversation and you reevaluate the goals, so it goes back to scripting and whatnot, but a recent one, that was challenging or difficult or almost fell out, but surprisingly didn't, like. I almost wanted it to fall out. Right,
Sometimes you do.
I literally, it was, I guess the takeaway closed, so I had a listing, it's on market forever and a day. I think like 60, 90, 120 days realistically, and we've done how many price reductions? Yes,
3.
1.
Oh.
No, but they want it. They didn't want it.
right? They
So
didn't want to, so one price reduction, like, that's not me. And so we did an offer. And like, it was like, I don't know, like $5,000 less or $10,000 less, I don't even care what it was, it was an offer, you take it, right? And they knew it was good for them, they knew it was gonna get them to their next goal of selling and buying the next home. And at a point, I just had the conversation like, look, this is your choice to make. I am not here to tell you you need to take this offer, here's the pros, here's the cons. I'm gonna be transparent with you, I am not wanting you to take this offer or not take this offer if it means it ruins our relationship or the potential friendship we have, which at this point, I was like, we are beyond being friends. Right? Being,
It's fair.
like, just being real,
Are they
Um,
the database?
right? No, actually, no. And I did the takeaway, I'm like, I wish you the best.
Yeah.
If this is not meant for you,
Close the
it's not
file.
meant to be, let's move on. 3 minutes later, I get a call, no, we're ready to take the offer, right? And so sometimes you just have to have real, not sometimes, all the time, have real communication and conversations with clients. And just, I talked about this with the team this morning, the two biggest things that you can talk to any client about, what's their motivation and what's their timeline, and if you're helping them achieve those two things, you're doing your job. If you feel like you and they are not on the same wavelength for those two things, part ways and use your mental headspace for something else, because it will be
Love
better.
that,
for
that
you.
was a great, great, yeah, thank you so much. What is the one piece of advice that I didn't ask that you think these people need to know? In order to finish strong for 2024? What is the one thing?
I don't know, what do you guys, is there a question that anyone has in the audience that they feel like they?
Any question out here on Zoom? Any questions?
I was curious, sorry. I was curious, Parm mentioned that when she circle prospects, she has a system, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Can she repeat that?
So when I say we circle prospect, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm doing it, Danny, but, you know, I have different things that I'm also calling during the day. But I have an ISA team and, on Mondays, we are calling at close. We're circle prospecting around close for the previous week. So whatever we closed last week, that's who's getting circle prospected on Monday. And it's about sharing with them, hey, congratulations, wanted to let you know, a neighbor of yours just sold a home, bought a home, whatever it is. Do you know of anyone that listen, buy, sell, invest, etc. So Mondays is closed. Tuesdays is the same conversation, but around in contract. Whether it's a buyer that we got in a contract last week or a seller that we got in a contract last week, right? Wednesdays is just listed, so anything that we are either listing this week or are having a price reduction for. And then Thursdays and Fridays is open houses, so inviting people around open houses that we're hosting. And if there is not one specific thing that needs to be done for the previous week, then you can just do the data for the previous week. Like for some of us, you know, you may not have a closing every week for last week. So you could just get the closing data for the month and call it every specific day and whatnot. But that's the system around the circle prospecting.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for asking.
Anything that you want to share that I didn't ask?
You should all know what you're doing for lead generation for Q4.
Yeah.
Like pivot and plan as to, okay, October, November, December is here. And if you have a strong Q4, like if you actually lead gen in Q4, you'll have a strong 2025 question.
We are going into
Yeah.
Q4.
We
Yes,
all,
we
next
are.
Tuesday,
Big day.
on
Big
Tuesday,
day.
yep,
What are you doing for 2025?
for lead gen, for
On here,
2025.
so when do you go over your goals?
Oh, we have our business planning clinic, we usually have it in October, November.
It's actually going to be, we're bringing somebody in. She's on the more group. Oh my gosh. Shelby, thank you. Shelby's gonna be here, and she's gonna do it, and then, but Leanne's doing a class, I think it's next Wednesday, prepping for the business planning clinic. So take a look at Circle Prospect and take a look at the calendar, if you really do want to prep, because you want to get your numbers ready.
So we usually do our own business planning clinic on the team. Late October, usually early November, before Thanksgiving. for projections and goals of what we're doing. Because we do it in November, because then that gives us our 10 months of data for this year to benchmark, like how were their ratios for conversions on sets to mets to close, for goals, for revenue, et cetera, so that we can really support them with, if they have a GCI goal, what do we need in terms of closings, working our way backwards all to the point of how many leads do we. So November, we usually go through that.
I do mine mid-November for the same reason, because then I have everything through October, because pretty much if you don't have anything in contract October, it's not gonna close this year. Yeah, typically 25th, 26th, so I do it mid-November for 2025. And I would say for the fourth quarter, get real with yourself. Like really dig deep self-awareness. What did I do well? What didn't I do? What can I do in the next 3 months to position myself for early 2025? If you take your foot off the gas the last quarter, guess what the first quarter is gonna look like? Yeah. And I did that last year. January, February, asked John Tornado. Leslie, you don't have any closings. It's 0 January, 0 February. I know. I had to make up March, April, May. They didn't want to hear that anymore. And so the last quarter last year, I didn't do much, and I paid for it first quarter. So most agents take their foot off the gas the last quarter of every year. Your opportunity to take market share and get ready for the first quarter of 2025. So that's what I think. The other thing that we really didn't talk about, I'm gonna do my shameless plug for coaching. I have a business coach I meet with every single week. She was a game changer for me. And if you don't have a coach, everybody that's successful has coaches. Some about 2, 3, 4. Highly recommend finding a coach that's going to get you and help you. They're not going to get you where you want to go, but they're going to help guide you and support you to be accountable. And that's my big thing is accountability for my business.
Love that. You have a coach as well. Or you,
Multiple.
yeah. Stomach coaching, yeah, it's
Right,
definitely real.
so coaching, and it doesn't mean that it's a coach that you know, like hiring from Maps or another
Right.
entity, et cetera. Sometimes it could just be someone that's in the circle of friends, relationships that you have that is holding you accountable for that. But yes, I have a few different coaches.
Yes, that's wonderful.
Even an accountability.
Right, and
partner.
we provide that for our team,
Yeah.
because everybody needs someone to kind of look at,
Accountable.
talk to. The one thing I would say is, especially going into Q4, be intentional about your business and the time. So calendar is my big thing, like if your business isn't going well, look back at your calendar. If your business is going well, look back at your calendar. And real estate, I'd like to say it is very stable, where you're gonna be busy or whatnot, and it's consistent, and you're doing the same amount of units and transactions and clients every month. It's not. So when it is slower, enjoy that time and be intentional about it. And when it is busy and you've got 3, 4 clients that you're working together all at once, just know, be grateful for that too, because maybe 60 days ago you were praying to be exactly in that position. So when it's quiet, don't be super down on yourself, enjoy that time and think about how you're gonna grow your business. But when you're busy, kind of respect that and, you know, help you move along.
Yeah.
Realistically.
So, there's actually an individual, on Zoom, I thought, all I will say, who was going through that, right? And trying to figure out where's my next lead or what's gonna happen. I'm like, just keep doing the activity. And yesterday it popped, she got 2 people in contact and she got a listing. And that's you, Melissa, and I'm so proud of you. So keep going. She's over in our Patterson office.
It comes in waves.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good job.
Okay, questions out here, please.
I have a question, as you are, being intentional, do you have office hours? So do you start at 1 hour and then cut it off to be intentional with family and other activities?
That's a
Right
great
now,
question, yeah.
I get text at 10 PM and I feel obligated to answer, but then I feel like I'm creating bad habits for the buyers and expectation.
Set the expectations. So transparently speaking, in 2016, when I started on the real estate side, I would respond when my clients reached out. And guess what? You forget to do that when you're starting out because you're building your business.
Mhm.
And then as time, and I was working 7 days a week or like, not literally, but like I would be on the office before COVID when we have in-person consultations and I'd be here on a weekend and whatnot. And then as the business grew and my intention changed and everybody on the team, has certain things that we're doing, my schedule changed with that. Like, I'm at a point now where my Saturdays and Sundays are not calendared. Like, I'm not available for appointments. Doesn't mean I don't work. I negotiate offers, I'll respond to agents' questions and whatnot, but it's by choice, right? I'm not like, okay, I need to have a listing appointment on the weekend. Like, I've given you enough slots during the week. That's when I'm gonna be doing that. So pick what works for you. I, at one point, I had a client that I'd worked with repeatedly, and like, we're texting each other at 11:30 at night. And I'm like watching a movie with my husband, and I'm like, this is weird. Like, I mean, if I was like an attorney or a doctor or
They're not-
whatnot, like, they would be picking up, like, why am I doing this? Like, go to ER, call 911, like, this is just their home we're talking about,
Yeah.
right? So, you just have to figure that out. But as far as hours, I would set the expectations when you meet the client. Like, if you're not gonna go ahead and answer the phone after 7 o'clock, make sure your client knows that. Make sure your voicemail says that, and then hold yourself accountable to it, because if you do answer the phone after that, they're gonna assume that it's okay.
And I do the same thing. I have standards that I've set. So if I get a new client, my non-negotiable, my coaching clients will attest to this. 6 p.m. Friday night is date night, like clockwork. That's my time with my husband to reconnect. You guys, there's no emergencies in real estate. I tell my clients, if there's a flood, you're calling your insurance company. If there's a theft, you're calling the police department. If there's a fire, you're calling the fire department. The only time you call me is if we've got an offer and I'm calling you. So there is not much that's an emergency. They used to do real estate through fax machines.
Yeah.
And hand delivering office to office. So we've set that sense of urgency with our clients, so we train them. And then I also know if they're trained at 9 p.m., my phone goes off. I'm not allowed to talk on the phone. If I choose to respond by text or email, if I'm available to call my clients, then you'll get a response. But those are my times that are non-negotiable, and everything else is by appointment. And trust me, if you can't get it done because they're only available tomorrow at 10 a.m. and you say, well, I'm available Thursday at 5, they are going to wait to meet with you. If they don't, they probably aren't somebody you want to work with. So set your standards and more importantly, enforce them.
Love that. So is there anything else you'd like to share? This is KW culture right here. This is taking time out of their busy schedule to give back. 2 points for your teams. Although I just couldn't.
I mean,
Thank you so much.
yeah, we're here because I just felt for the reason why the speaker couldn't be here. So I know
I was
have
like,
to
oh my gosh.
And you guys are gonna be like, oh my God. again. But I can say no, right? And sometimes you have to say no, right, to protect your calendar. But I connected to the fact that there was a valid reason why she couldn't be here today. So that's why I'm here. And hopefully you learned something.
Yeah.
If not, we're sorry.
Well, hopefully, at least you got.
Thank you. All right, you guys, make it a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody on Zoom. We'll be out to the other offices on Wednesday. Peace out. I guess peace out that way. Oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, like, I'm